You're welcome to Sports Debate, the show where we give you a platform to show off your sport knowledge, and all arguments on sport must be spot on. I am Solomon Adjuziogo. When you hear of the mind-boggling sum with which professional sportsmen and women are being traded, some of us, someone like me, gets the feeling that I need a job change. But is it realistic to pay $100 million for a player? That is the amount of money Manchester United re-signed a player the English Premier League team acquired from Le Havre for around £100,000, and they let go in controversial circumstances in 2012. After 4 seasons at Juve, for a player Alex Ferguson had accused of disrespecting the club. The French player of Guinean descent is just 23. At that amount, he will be the world record signing. This will put him on almost the same level as Lionel Messi of Barcelona and Cristiano Ronaldo of Real Madrid. Do you think Paul Labille Pogba is worth this much? For United to cough out this amount or any amount near this region for a central midfielder like Pogba, do you think it's a wise decision that United has coughed out such amount of money at all? Is it a wise decision that United coughs out that amount of money for a central midfielder like Pogba? That's the topic today. You can be a part of the program by sending your tweets to me at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC Connect #SportsDebate. Join us now. Joining me on the show today to discuss these are 2 gentlemen. Both of them are making their debut on Sports Debate. Malaki Ndubuzo, of course, the man who organizes football at a very youth level. He knows about football, so he'll be telling us about Pogba. He does not think that Pogba is worth that amount of money.
Sure, he's not worth it at all. And
he's up against Okpeolu Adekoye, who thinks, yes, the player is worth it. Well, maybe it's understandable because he's very young. And he thinks that young people deserve that amount of money. Okpe, you are welcome to Sports Debate.
Thank you for having me on this wonderful platform. It's my pleasure to be here today.
If you ask me, sometimes, each time I'm here and I hear this amount of money, sometimes I look at myself and say, okay, so why didn't I go all the way? I was such a good footballer, quite good myself during my young days. But then, just imagine $100 million for a 23-year-old. Is it as fantastic as Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yes, Pogba is as fantastic as Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, if you look at Lionel Messi as of 2008, when he has won FIFA Under-20 World Cup and Under 20 Olympics with Argentina, if another club wanted to buy Lionel Messi, how much would he have been sold for? Pogba is at that certain stage now. He has won Under-20 World Cup with France, and he has been to the to the Euro 2016 finals. So why should he not be worth that price when he has won so many laurels with Juventus at just 23 years old?
That means he's not the only player.
He's not the only player, but where are the prospects? Where are the other players that played alongside Pogba at that time with Manchester United? Where are they now? Paul Pogba is the only one that is prominent and is commanding a starting shirt for both Juventus and France. So why should he not be worth over £100 million? You are buying a player with his profile.
Why should he not be worth over £100 million? That's the question to you.
Yeah, very good question. The issue remains, maybe someone will say because I'm an Arsenal fan, we don't overprice players. I think all these hypes, for these players, by the time he's not going to he's not the only player in that field. Let's not take it away from...
Because you're an Arsenal fan.
No, I'm just
Arsenal
saying...
cannot stake money.
No, it's not. Arsenal understands football.
That is why Arsene Wenger had to pay £42 million, 4 times the price he could have bought Mesut Ozil in 2010.
Yeah, it's okay.
For him.
You can see after. What Mesut... when Arsenal invests on a player, nobody forced him. I mean, nobody forced that decision. At the time...
And that's why Arsenal couldn't buy Suarez.
Suarez, of course, at that point, we couldn't buy Suarez. Not because of money. It's not that Arsenal don't have money. I'm sure you know.
It's because of mediocrity.
No, the truth remains that...
How you bid 40 million and £1 for a professional footballer?
In England today,
yes.
Arsenal, you know where we are, Arsenal. I'm not talking for Arsene Wenger. But in terms of making money from football, I don't think
Arsenal is not the richest club in
no,
the world.
it's not
You
richest.
see-
But last season, Arsenal topped in England. Arsenal made
So
more money than any
because
other
of
player.
Paul Pogba
But
now, you're
let
talking
me-
about Arsenal.
No, but let's not forget the topic now.
Yes.
Paul Pogba, for 100 million or whatever amount of money anyone want to pay for him,
From 70 million upwards.
Yeah, is not worth it. For example, the history is there for us to look at. From 2009 when he joined Manchester United and up to 2012 when he left. We want to follow him. What has happened to him? He's been in Juventus, he has won, he has personal laurels, he has won, fine. But the issue is that when you want to stake money on a player, one
Yes.
player,
Yes.
central midfielder, which is a central role, fine. Why are you putting such amount? They know Jose Mourinho like making show. I think it's one of Jose Mourinho's shows that they want to make
You
again.
see, that's
Sorry,
not the issue.
I'm-
That's not the
no,
issue.
No, I'm coming.
Every footballer
No.
is worth every penny the buying club is willing to pay for him, and the selling club puts for him.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Paul Pogba has won the Juventus. He has won the Serie A with Juventus 4 times consecutively. Now, I'll ask you, the other players that played alongside Paul Pogba with Manchester United, when they won some trophies with the youth team, where are they now? What trophies have they won? You are buying a footballer with his profile and his prospects. He's just 23 years old. Now imagine what he has done for a 23 years old. How many footballers have done that at the age of 23 and reached the final of the Champions League and has been named in the FIFA Pro World 11 at the age of 23? That's what I should ask you.
It all begins when you started playing football. Messi did that at.
That's why there's a Paul Pogba now that is doing the same thing. How many people? There are very few.
No. When Messi played at the under 19 with
Under 20
Mikel,
and
under 20,
under 23, yes.
There were 3. We had Mikel, we had Messi, and we had
Tai Taiwo.
Yeah, Tai Taiwo.
Yes.
What has happened to the others? Fine.
That is why
Wait, I'm coming.
he's a massive footballer. If you want to buy Lionel Messi,
Yeah.
how much will you buy Lionel Messi?
You cannot compare Lionel Messi and Pogba.
Why?
Lionel Messi is 29.
Yes.
Now.
He
Pogba
has
is
reached his
23.
peak.
Yeah, he has
He
not
still
reached
has
his
6
peak.
more years to reach what Messi has done.
No.
And he has reached the Champions League final.
He's-
He has reached the final of Euro 2016. He has won the Serie A with Juventus 4 times back to back. He has won the Coppa Italia twice with Juventus. What else do you want from a 23-year-old footballer?
Did he win it as a single player? I mean, only
He
him
was
playing-
named MVP of the Under-20 tournament
Yes,
when
that
France
is,
won it in
as far as I'm
2013.
concerned, that is the
most
that is
valuable player of the tournament.
That is the laurel he won for himself as a
He has
as
won
an
the Golden Boy
individual
Award.
player.
Golden Boy Award. Best Under-20 player in Europe. Paul Pogba won the award. What else do you want from an Under-20-year-old
Okay,
player?
let's look at the Euro that ended.
Yes.
So what would you say about Pogba?
He was the fresher as France reached the finals of the Euro tournament,
So
where they lost, unfortunately,
in
to
terms
Pogba,
of in
to
terms of
Portugal.
what he brought to the game, are
Yes.
you still thinking that is what that amount?
You see,
yes, for the fact
there,
that he
are,
got
there are different midfielders. There are goal-scoring midfielders
So-
and midfielders that don't score a lot of goals, but they do the job. Pedro did not score a lot of goals for Italy and Juventus and the clubs he played for, but we respect him because of his flair and his forward passes. He may not have as many goals and assists as Gerrard or Lampard, but we respect Pedro for the way he controls the game. They call him a maestro. He's a master of what he does. Now, Paul Pogba is a central midfielder. It's not compulsory for every midfielder to score goals or give assists, but the job you do on the pitch of play, and when you remove that player from the team, you see the impact that this player's absence is being felt. That is how we
No.
Paul Pogba is
If
for
you are trying to define a
France and
midfielder,
Juventus.
if you are trying to define who a midfielder or the role midfielders play
Yes.
in the game, because they are between the defense line and the forward
attack.
line.
Yes.
So scoring goals is part of what they should provide. That is why you have
Do you
someone
know
like
that
Mesut Ozil
Andres
in
Iniesta
Arsenal,
is rated as one of the greatest midfielders in the world, but John
came
Terry has
tops.
more career goals than Andres Iniesta. So why do we still rate Andres Iniesta highly?
No,
If John Terry has more career goals than
No,
Andres Iniesta.
Iniesta and
But he's an
Messi.
attacking midfielder.
Yeah, in assists, Iniesta.
He doesn't have as much
no,
assists
no.
as Mesut Ozil or Angel Di Maria.
Yeah,
in
it all
the last
depends
5
on
seasons.
who. It all depends
But
on
we
who
still
your
rate him
forward
as one of
lines
the
are
greatest
and
midfielders
how you are
ever.
able
Why?
to communicate. The
That is what Paul
midfield
Pogba
is
brings to
the
Juventus
engine room
and
of
France,
any
and that is why
football
Manchester
team.
United needs him back.
Is-
Because the Manchester United squad currently, without Paul Pogba, they are in shambles and they cannot win the EPL.
You
That is
cannot
why they
tell
had
me
to
with-
bring Jose
you cannot tell me
Mourinho, and they have signed 3
won it
players.
2 years ago without Pogba. So you cannot tell me without.
And the last
like
time
I
they
told
won
you
it,
earlier on,
from when they won it last, and now, what has happened to Manchester United?
What has
Where
happened?
did they reach in the EPL? They did not make the top 4
Man
of the
U-
EPL.
Man U problem
That is why
had
they
to
are
do-
recruiting new players.
Man U players, the 2 seasons that passed had to do with their coaches. They had issues and they were not able to solve. So Mourinho, knowing fully well that, look, I need to, of course, being a mind game specialist, he came with that and said, okay, fine, I'm going to bring this trouble. Let me ask for a player that will cause a stir in
So
the
you
whole
call for
system.
Pogba trouble?
No, I'm not saying.
A fantastic
I have not
midfielder,
said
23 years
I have not
old.
said for Pogba is a trouble. I'm saying Mourinho needed to do something. Of course, to be kind of him.
To win the EPL, he needs to do something. That's why he wants to sign Paul Pogba. He's looking for a player that has that kind of profile,
A
that can
player
lead
that
the team to winning
disrespected
EPL.
Man U and walked out on Man
That
U
was in his
even when
youthful.
Man U.
That was in his youthful days, Solomon. That was when he was young.
Alex
And he
Ferguson
believes in
had
himself
to
so
say-
much.
He's still at 23. He has not. I'm not sure he has.
See,
he has
for
So a
He has
combination of a disrespectful player
very important.
with a
He's not disrespectful, he has to
controversial
be
coach.
arrogant. And that's why Alex Ferguson is no longer there. There's not Jose Mourinho. So everything has changed. He's arrogant and knows that he deserves to be starting for Manchester United. And why was he not starting? And now we have seen him and the rest. Where is Jesse Lingard?
Well, we've seen him
And
at
the rest, compared to the
we've
other
seen him
youthful
at
players.
Juventus.
Yes.
But have you gone back into the history of the controversies behind his transfers and his movements from when he was moving from Poitiers in France and then to Le Havre, then to Juventus and all of that? The controversies. Why is such a good player always dogged by controversies?
Now it is left for the coach to help him to work on that, the controversies, and the backroom staff of Manchester United, if they sign him or when they do sign him. He's just a 23-year-old footballer. You can expect him to be arrogant and to be proud. But if you work on that part, that is...
23-year-old who has not achieved so much, really.
He has won more trophies than Mesut Ozil in Arsenal. In recent years, yes. In the last 5 years, yes. In what Mesut Ozil has won Arsenal, Paul Pogba has won more. He has reached the UEFA Champions League final.
Well, Mesut Ozil hasn't played in Arsenal for 4 seasons, so...
And other midfielders that have played, other world-class midfielders that people rate highly, Paul Pogba has achieved more or the same level as them. Mind you, he is less than 25 years old. He is just 23 years old. So we are buying a footballer with his prospects and his profile. It's not just for 1 season. You are buying him for like, we signed a 5-year contract. He can help Manchester United to win the league, to win the FA Cup, and to reach the Champions League final.
Only him.
It's not only him. He is the bonus addition. You have Mkhitaryan, you have Eric Bailly now, and you have Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So you need a bonus, expensive footballer to help you win the league. When you say Mourinho won the league with Chelsea, he signed Diego Costa and Fabregas, about £60 million. What did they do? They won the EPL. You may say the price tag was too much, but they delivered. Compared to what Chelsea was before Jose Mourinho came back, they won the EPL and the Carling Cup. That is what matters in football.
So with Paul Pogba,
£100 million on the player, he will deliver. You win the trophy.
It's not as easy as you think.
And mind you,
sorry,
the topic called
excuse
image
me?
rights.
Look-
Manchester United will make this money back when they sell his jerseys. His jerseys will be top selling in Europe. So what's the problem? Why can't you spend
I know you are a
£100
Manchester
million
United fan. I know
on
you are a
Paul
Manchester
Pogba?
United fan.
I'm
Well,
a sport analyst.
yeah.
I'm not a Manchester United fan.
Fine. It's okay. What I'm trying to tell you,
Yes.
what they do to these players at this youth level
Yes.
is to overprice them and lower their.
Is the price
their
the
profile.
problem?
That is the problem. We are talking of
If,
how much
let me
he's
ask you
going
a
for.
question.
Yeah, ask me a
If
question.
you can buy Raheem Sterling for £49 million, if you can buy Andy Carroll for £35 million, then why should you not buy a highly rated Paul Pogba for £100 million, or
you
even
s-
over that?
When you say highly rated, we are going to go back again to say Serie A and La Liga and then the EPL. When you talk of high rating, which of them commands more of rating than the other?
If
Because
you
you are-
say
a
the
player-
EPL is
yes.
highly rated than
Yes.
Serie A,
It-
judging by what you have
Yeah,
said now,
I've
why
used
did
the word
any
hyping
EPL team not
in-
make it to the final of the UEFA Champions
that
League?
is not how
It's
to.
very, very
no,
important.
No, that is not how to
Are
talk
English
about
teams not
rating.
participating in the UEFA Champions League?
EPL is known for hyping players, and that is why any player that wants to come back from any of those leagues,
Yes.
they put a price tag, because when you get there,
It is part of the sports to hype what you have. It is part of the sports. Hype a player, a prospect, spend the money on him, and make sure he delivers. You make your money back via image rights. You sell his jerseys, you sell other stuff, you sell his bandana and all those stuffs, and you make your money back. It's a business.
Well,
Be wise.
talking about business, our business here today is to discuss whether Paul Pogba is worth that amount of money. Is it not as a result of who is selling and who is buying? Well, Manchester United is a very rich club, and so if they have to buy a Paul Pogba, then a club like Juventus will probably sell for between 70 to 100 million pounds or dollars or whatever. I'm sure if Arsenal, if Arsene Wenger was to buy Paul Pogba, he wouldn't pay that much. He rejected, he couldn't buy Luis Suarez because of 40 million plus £1, you know, and now Suarez is delivering for Barcelona. At such high rate, $75 million or pounds or thereabout, and Arsene Wenger couldn't buy. So it depends on who is buying. Manchester United is buying, but is Paul Pogba worth that amount of money? That's the topic today. And Malaki Ndubuzo here says, no, he's not worth that amount of money. But Okpe Oluwadekonye here says, he is worth it. Every penny of it. Well, how is it worth it? We'll get to see when the league begins if he's worth it in the end. But what do you think? Do you think Paul Pogba is worth that amount of money? That huge, humongous £100 million or $100 million? Even if it's 100 million euros. Man, even if it's 100 million naira, man, is it worth that? Send your opinions to me at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC Connect #SportsDebate. It's still Sports Debate with me, Solomon Adjisuga, and the topic we're looking at today is whether Paul Labile Pogba, is worth all the amount of money, every penny of that amount that United are coughing out for him. $100 million for one player, a central midfielder, 23 years old. Well, we have two gentlemen who are looking at the topic here. Malaki Ndubuzo, who does not believe he's worth all that amount of money, and Okpe Olua, who believes that he's worth all that money. But what do you think? What do you think about it? Do you think he's worth it? You can send your tweet to me to be a part of this discussion by sending it to me at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC Connect #SportsDebate. You can see I am gasping for bread. $100 million from a player, central midfielder. Okay then. So now I am asking.
Yes.
Don't you think that this valuation is based on the fact that it is Man United that is buying and is trying to make, and Juve is trying to make United pay back? You know, it's like payback time. It's like a punishment. You let him go just like that, and now you have to pay through your nose. You have to
that
pay
is where
through
Manchester
the
United
eyes,
needs to
the
learn
eye of the
something
needle.
from Barcelona. When you have a huge prospect and you want to loan him out or you want to sell him, you are meant to put a buyback clause in his contract so that in the next future, if he makes it and becomes a better player, it will be easier for the club that owned the player before, Manchester United, to buy their player at any price they want. That is what Barcelona does with their youth prospects. That is what Manchester United should have done. So now they have left from the mistake of Paul Pogba. If you have a youth prospect, less than 20 years old, put a buyback clause in his contract so that whenever you want to buy, it's any amount you put on his head that you buy your player back. Very simple.
Yeah, it's okay, but they didn't do that.
They failed to do that. So
they have to pay.
They have to pay
for it.
£100 million or
let me tell you, having played in the EPL at very tender age, maybe when he was less than 20, as it were, because take 4 years out of 23, that means he was about 19 when he was playing at Man U. So, are you telling me why is he the only player that Jose Mourinho would want to fortify his midfield? The answer is no. But because Jose Mourinho likes controversy, he did it with Thibaut Courtois when he came back to Chelsea after he played with him.
The question I should ask you is this.
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm trying to make a point.
Yes.
So the idea of putting a buyback clause in the contracts before a player is sold, especially when he's at the youth level, fine. Arsenal does that also to enable them buyback, even in the
easily.
Yeah, in the Fabregas contract, it was also there. But the issue is that there is an overpricing of this player who I think when it comes back to EPL, we need to understand again how the EPL is run. EPL is a special, kind of footballing setting. If you leave EPL for a time and you come back, you will find time to adjust.
This is why I asked you a question.
You are not, I'm coming. You said Jose Mourinho is going to reap because they are going to win the EPL, they are going to win the Carling Cup, they are going to win just for one season as soon as Pogba comes back?
You see,
the answer is no, because he needs to adjust. They have other players.
there is no adjustment to be made. Why are you a professional footballer? Are you telling me that if Barcelona comes to Nigeria to play against the Imba, because they're not used to the MPFL or the league situation or the stadium standard,
yes,
Barcelona will not beat the Imba?
No, it's not.
A Barcelona that has Lionel Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, Andres Iniesta,
so many things
in
can
their
come
squad.
into play.
Why would they be able to beat them?
So many
That's
things
why
can
you're a
come into
professional
play.
footballer.
The climate can come into play.
Very,
The
very
field
simple.
can come in. So many things can come into play.
You must adapt. That's why you're a professional. That's why they are putting 100 million pounds on your head.
In 2000 and I can't remember exactly, about 4 years ago, man, you
Yes.
came to Nigeria
Yes.
for pre-season.
Yes.
And they got back to England. What's his name?
What do you call it now?
Their coach.
What do you call- you
one
call
of their
it
players said he
pre-season?
got. Yeah, we are talking of
Pre-season.
adaptation. I just talked about adapting.
If
When you
was
have
to be in the
left
UEFA
a
Champions League that
particular-
Barcelona met a Yimba, a competitive
No,
match,
you say if
would
they-
they,
if
would
they
Barcelona
come
not
here-
beat them home and away? It's very, very simple.
Football-
Why are you a professional?
football-
It's your duty to adapt.
football had
Look at
gone
Lionel
beyond-
Messi.
Yeah.
When he first started, they said he's a left-footed player.
Yeah.
Adaptation came in. He started scoring goals with his right leg.
Adaptation
and with
came
his
in.
head.
Did he start
Because
scoring immediately
He's
he
a
came back?
professional footballer.
No, he's not.
He adapted
He's-
to that. He scored
So,
the right goal.
Let
the
me.
right
What I'm
footed goal
trying to
against
say.
Real Madrid.
No.
In the El Clasico.
The point I'm
That's
trying to
why you're a
make.
professional footballer.
When you
It's your
talk of
duty.
adaptation,
There is
to
no
some
adaptation to be
it can be
made.
fast, to some it can be slow. It all depends on who your teammates are. So
That
he's
is
not
left
going
to
be
the
only
coach
man.
and his
the-
teammates to help him to adapt.
How many players who
Yes.
come from the Italian Serie A
Yes.
in recent times
Yes.
easily adapt to the English Premier League, even though he had played in the English Premier League before? Now you consider the level of the Serie A to the English Premier League, the pace and everything, and you think that Pogba will be an instant hit at the return?
He will be an instant hit at the return.
Why? Why do you say so?
You look at it like this. Juventus participated in the UEFA Champions League. Other English teams participated in the UEFA Champions League. Why could they not make it to the final of the UEFA Champions League? We are talking as if the EPL is much better
the
than
story
the
of
Serie
Balotelli.
A.
You know the story of Balotelli.
In recent years,
You know the story
how many
of how
English teams have won the
Balotelli
UEFA Champions
has figured
League?
out.
Compared
It's the
to how
same thing.
Juventus
Did you hear about
and
Balotelli?
AC
It's the same
Milan.
story.
Did you hear about
Balotelli is a prodigal
Giaccherini,
footballer.
who struggled in Sunderland?
I liken him to
Or a Borini.
It's
Pogba.
not compulsory for everybody to
fine,
fail.
I like him Pogba to
because
Balotelli because
everybody
if-
had failed before.
no.
Why are you a professional footballer?
How many
There's something
professional
called
footballers?
adaptation. There's something called displaying your talent. Somebody will break that jinx. Paul Pogba can break that jinx, and he will deliver for Manchester United. It's very simple. There's no need to look at the past and say Italian players don't adapt. Players coming from the Serie A don't adapt in the EPL.
That is there for you to
That's why
see.
some people,
That is
it's
why
not funny when people tell me that Lionel Messi will not score goals in the EPL. Why would he not score goals? Is he not a prolific striker? Why would he not score 50 goals in the EPL? Anywhere you take Lionel Messi to, he will score 50 goals
At
plus.
23 in Juventus.
Yes.
At 23 and in Juventus.
Yes.
Has he proven enough
Yes.
to be placed on the same pedestal as Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi? Has
When
he done
And
that?
he didn't get it
Andrea
back.
Pirlo left Juventus, everybody said you can't get the best out of Paul Pogba again. Then came in Marquinhos. He adapted and he gave us the best. We saw more of Paul Pogba. He has scored 28 goals for Juventus in total in over 100 matches. He has still delivered. Pirlo left and Marquinhos came. He has played under two different coaches now, Conte and now Allegri. He has still delivered. So what is the problem with Paul Pogba? Take him to the EPL, he will deliver. He has done enough to be worth over 100 million pounds, and he has done enough to be put on the same level as Lionel Messi and Ronaldo. Check out the 5th Pro World 11 of last year. Paul Pogba was in the midfield with Ronaldo and Messi in the attack. That means he's on their level for the position that he plays.
No, that's not the meaning, because you
How
cannot take
many
one
players
player.
get to the
No.
5th Pro World 11?
So because you are
easy?
picking them at random, you are not going to say
They're
because
not picking them at random. They're picking them.
No, what I
See,
mean.
the people that selected them are journalists.
Yes.
They are professionals and they are coaches and captains of clubs and countries.
Okay.
So you cannot tell me that they just selected Paul Pogba randomly. They've looked at his style of play. They've looked at his videos. They looked at his influence in the Juventus team and for France, and discovered that this guy is one of the best in the world. And he made the 5th Pro 11. Not only that, he also made the UEFA Champions League Team of the Year. How many midfielders have done that at the age of 23?
What has happened to Pogba that we see happen again here is that it all depends on who you are playing under. Don't forget, Osemorigo, in the story about, when you look at what happened to Balotelli. That is, each time I think of Pogba, I think of Balotelli. Because I know that today, as we talk,
Yes.
if Balotelli had been able to manage his character,
Yes.
if he's been able to not allow the whatever fame he thought he was
talent
getting
get to his
to
head.
get into his head,
Yes.
he would still be relevant today. By overpricing him, it's a way to put him on the shelf. He is likely not to go further if he goes into, because
Solomon, let me tell you something.
don't forget.
This same man will have part of the people that said that Gareth Bale was not worth the world record transfer fee when he moved from Tottenham Hotspur to
yeah.
Is
Real
he worth
Madrid.
it?
Yeah.
Did he not win the Champions League with them? Did he not win the Copa del Rey for
Is that the
them?
reason
I don't
Did
know
he
how
not
you
score in the
measure. I don't know
finals
how
of
you
those
measure.
tournaments?
how
I don't know how you
Why did you
measure
sell a
players.
footballer? You
No.
need him to deliver for the club. Before Bale came to Real Madrid, that belonged they won the UEFA Champions League. Very documented fact. Gareth Bale came to Real Madrid, he won them the Champions League. He scored in the final, crucial goal. He scored in the Copa del Rey final without Ronaldo, crucial goal. That is what you want. 85 million pounds or nothing, he has delivered. That is what matters most for a footballer.
Is that your closing remark
My
about
closing
Paul
remark
Pogba?
is for Paul Pogba is that every footballer is worth any penny, the buying club and the selling club wishes to pay for him. It's not about business. It's a football business. As long as they can recruit that money back later in the future and they can win trophies in Europe and in England, so why not? Manchester United, the current squad is in shambles. They need a big name player to help them to deliver. Fernando Torres, 50 million pounds. He scored the crucial goal against Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final for Chelsea, and they won the UEFA Champions League. So you need players that are expensive in your squad to intimidate the opponents in the EPL and to boost the profile of the club to make more money. It's not about business. It's not about business.
sustainable?
Very, very sustainable business. They will make the money back in less
I
than
think my
3
problem
years.
is on the sustainability of that. And we have seen it that only one player cannot make a squad. Man U, as they are today, yes, they signed Ibrahimovic.
They've signed 3 players.
Yes,
Is this closing remark? You don't interrupt.
Yeah. They signed
30
Ibrahimovic.
seconds.
Of course, Jose will always find a name. He said he used, God knows where he invented that, the machine are not good and all of that. So that is the issue. What I'm trying to say that, whether you like it or not, that amount that is being placed on Pogba is too much for a player of his caliber. That is my closing remark.
Wow, you've had it there. That amount of money that has been placed on Paul Pogba, that market value on Paul Pogba is too high for a player of his caliber. That is what Malakin Dubuzo is saying. But Okpe Oluwa Adekonye says, no, he is worth every penny of it. Well, I wish I was priced at that amount of money when I was 23 and when I was still playing. But then, what do you think? Is Paul Pogba worth that amount of money? You can let me know your opinion by sending your tweet to me at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC Connect #SportsDebate to be a part of this heated discussion. Until we come your way again next time, enjoy the rest of your day.